Hare Krishna, my dear friends. Welcome to Anartha Nivritti in action. We're continuing our boot camp, and this video will be available also, the recording. I am Sri Radha Govinda Dasi. I'm actually a grateful recovering validation addict, codependency addict, love addict. Oh, I can go on and on. And also, I'm an unlicensed expert in anarthas and overdependency and delusions. Okay, jokes apart. So, when I was younger, I remember thinking that love will fix everything, watching all those Bollywood movies, reading certain kind of novels. I was seeking for somebody, something, some experience that is out there. And it's like a magic pill. And I remember as a teenager, a cosmic cuddle or something, a particular well-dressed savior, devotee will come with great sadhana, will save me. They all those kind of illusions. And over time, I learned the harder way that love addiction is not just about romance. It's about seeking the divine in human form, trying to make someone else, something else, play God in our lives. It's about putting my self-worth, my sanity, my sense of safety in the hands of someone who cannot carry this weight because only Krishna can carry. So it's actually a very subtle anartha, which can be figured out, worked on only in the right association and right introspection. But once you get to do that, I tell you, life just becomes magic. Whether it's about partner in terms of romantic partner, husband or child or a friend or even a spiritual teacher, a mentor, this loop of validation, it could even be social media, by the way, posting things on social media and expecting, chasing something, some validation. So this chasing for substitute for Krishna, that's kind of like I coined it in those terms after discovering how I feel and different devotees coming together. So it's an endless chasing for substitute of Krishna, for Krishna, substitute for Krishna. And then what happens is that, like I said, I'm an unlicensed expert in this field. I kept feeling spiritually bankrupt because I was giving away, trying to find substitute in Krishna. So no matter how amazing people look, how together somebody else may look, but human beings cannot become higher powers or Krishna for that matter. And in our early ISKCON years, the GBCs or the gurus or the temple presidents tried to play the part of God. And they were trying to get people married. You marry this person because they had like an agenda. If these two Sankirtan people stay in our temple will be financially more beneficial and all that stuff. Okay. So that's not the topic for today. Today's topic is true love. How true love, the glimpses of it can come from different places, but the true experience of love only comes from that surrender to Krishna and not in losing myself in someone or trying to become somebody else's God or trying to find God. So it's in the embrace of Krishna. Okay, so let me start sharing the screen, and thank you so much for keeping your videos on, those who have, if you have. All right, now finding true love, from powerlessness to surrender. How many of us have this experience, carrying this invisible black hole? The black hole where no human being, no parents or teachers or anybody could not really try to fill it. And then I'm trying to escape that, running away. I tried it repeated. And Bhagavatam tells us, very nice, right? Bhagavatam gives us the hope. Bhagavatam says that this longing I have, it's not a defect. It's actually it's a divine discontentment that I'm experiencing. It's actually soul's cry. The song that I just played in the beginning of our talk today, I wrote this song from studying these verses from Bhagavatam and understanding that cry of the soul. What is a soul crying? Crying, Hey Radhe Vraja Devike Chalalite. Where is Krishna? Where is Srimati Radharani? Where is Vrindavan Dham? Where am I stuck? What is happening? What is real here? What am I made for? I'm looking for love, but I'm not seeing it. So that void within, experiencing that void within, is the first step, okay, in that journey of finding true power. Now, powerlessness is power. So when I recognize, okay, let me just put this on. Yes. So when I recognize that powerlessness, it opens doors for authentic experiences, not anymore masked, addictive fills. Now, this void, it's not a bug, okay? It's a feature. It's a feature of the soul's homesickness. We feel homesick. My home is back there in the Goloka Vrindavan, and I'm stuck here. So this love addiction, validation addiction, codependency, all that happens when I try to fill that inner black hole with anything other than Krishna. And yesterday we had some shares. I shared my story. So whether it's a form of, see, for some of you, this presentation may feel very relevant. For some of you, not so much. But hang on as we go on to the other steps in recovery. It'll start making more sense depending on the specific situation. Now, like I said, whether the validation is for a crush or attention of a guru. People think sometimes guru is like a boyfriend. Or those 1,100 WhatsApp messages. The whole point is trying to look for Krishna in the wrong places. That no one else can fill that God-sized hole. It's a God-sized hole that I have inside. So surrender is one of those very poetic bhajan words, sounds so nice in bhajans, but it's terrifying in real life. Love addiction, this whole theme has taught me that surrender is not about giving up. It's actually giving it to Krishna, giving it over. It's like saying, Krishna, please take the wheel before I get into toxic patterns, before I get involved in some other drama and I lose myself and I try to look for substitutes. So the secret here is the path of surrender means when I stop making other people my savior, when I actually begin, that's when I actually feel saved. When I stop demanding that somebody should rescue me, or I think I'm entitled that somebody else should provide for my needs, then when I stop that, when I try to at least recognize it and give it to Krishna and say, I don't want to live like that. I want to live my life fully. I want to live my life as a servant of God, as a missionary of God, instrument of God. Then finally Krishna says, wow, I have now the permission to come into the heart of this person. Okay, so let's talk about this P word. I used to resist this word like a marriage proposal from somebody who had no job, no japa, no stability or something. So because I thought that I was in control, and I wasn't. I was trying so hard to give my sanity to people who hadn't really earned it, and they could not really give me Krishna or cannot become my Krishna. Now, admitting powerlessness, we already covered that. We established the fact it's not weakness. It's actually like claiming your real throne instead of looking for it in garbage. So when I think I'm the doer, I'm looking for it in the garbage. So the throne I may have given to my exes, my whatever, my parents, my friends, my spiritual mentors, my spiritual crushes. Let's be honest. And also maybe some people are unavailable on WhatsApp for us. So sometimes I'm trading my sense of dignity. So that powerlessness, that word, let me go there. Yeah. So understanding powerlessness spiritual emptiness. The spiritual emptiness, a void no material love can truly satisfy. We covered this point. After today's presentation, we won't be touching upon love addiction directly. So this will be the last presentation for the boot camp, but there will be a booklet and maybe other videos. Who knows? So when I heard this word powerless, and then I was like, powerless? Excuse me, I have degrees, I have achievements, I've traveled the world, I have this, I have that. But then, the truth was in external Instagram or Facebook or my books that have my name as an author, that's one thing. But inside, I can be falling apart. And I went through that experience of experiencing breakdown. So the true power, true experience of success came when I stopped performing and started that process of surrender. And but because the longing was there, longing to want to belong, the strongest thing that I've ever done was to recognize that longing and redirecting that longing. So wow, like so much, this misplaced longing, misplaced loyalty. Karna comes to mind whenever I think of misplaced loyalty. He was very loyal to Duryodhana, but for what? Duryodhana was not deserving of it. Similarly, I've spent my life also trying to looking for that loyalty in wrong places, longing for acceptance in misplaced situations. So misplaced longing means searching in human relationships what only Krishna can give. Again, as I said, it's subtle. Look at your relationships. I'll give you an exercise at the end. See how much of it, what kind of flavor is relevant to you. I used to think that if I try harder, if I loved harder, then I may be having better relationships. And if I served more selflessly, and they'd finally see my worth. So I was very addicted to my efforts. No amount of my efforts, you cannot force someone to love you. So the human connection is like I remember there was this analogy. I think it was Jagatarani Mataji, Vijayan Prabhu's wife. She gave this analogy once, and it really stood in my mind. She gave examples of two capsules, like two jivas. No matter how close you try to get whatever, it's still two jivas. But only thing that really makes us get along, or the soul, the starving of the soul can be quenched, the thirst for the soul can be quenched, is only if we have Krishna in between. And then I remember there's another analogy, like two capsules. No matter how much you try to bring it closer, the internal of the capsule, the medicine is separate. And even if you try to mix it together, it's a mess. So love addiction, again, is not just romantic, it's a spiritual confusion. It's what happens. It's a spiritual confusion that what happens when we mistake a temporary person. I sent that quote in the WhatsApp group today. When we mistake a temporary shoulder for permanent shelter, eternal shelter. Okay, so it can be anybody, anything. So powerlessness is the moment when I realize I'm tired of this game of trying to be God in someone else's life, and also even more tired trying to make someone else my God. So at the same time, the hope is it's not a weakness, but it's a redirection. It's an invitation to true spiritual strength. Now, going further into this presentation, this thing of seeking external substitutes, relationship is like just to break it down. It's not, again, love addiction, or it's not just somebody wearing a red sari or red kurta or send flirty texts, or it's not just that concept. It's a sneaky way it shows up in relationships. How it shows up, it's like, fix me. I can't stay with my internal because I'm a mess if I have to be with myself, because I'm not a yogi, and therefore I need other relationships to fix me. So fix me is like the concept of the external relationship substitutes that we're trying to look for. Then there's a validation. The validation is needing others' approval to feel worthy. That's the second construct of this seeking external substitutes. So validation is like, tell me that I matter. Tell me that I'm good enough. Tell me that I am beautiful. Tell me that I am smart. Tell me that I am worthy, valuable, whatever it is. Needing other people to prove my sense of self-worth. Then the third is control. The control is mistaking power over circumstances for true strength. Control is basically my favorite. Like I said, I'm an unlicensed expert in this. If I manage every detail, I'll be safe. If I can just get everything under my control, then I've done my part. So it's a very tricky, sneaky approach of losing control, of going crazy, of not living to our best capacity, because we're not allowing divine power to flow through me. And then the other fourth one, my second favorite, achievement. Achievement for what? Achievement for this material body. So achievement is all about, if I succeed, then I'll finally be lovable. Finally, people will love me. So we make other people the judge, whatever, therapists maybe, or even sometimes with Shiksha gurus, a subtle thing of dependency gets in there. But remember, the first presentation, Krishna is our real GPS. And no wonder we're disappointed. It's good. These relationships are helping me learn, but they are never the engine room. The engine room is only Guru and Krishna. Everybody else are compartments. So never make anyone else the engine room, because there's disappointment there. Because this, if we make anyone else our GPS, not only will be disappointed, they signed up for being a compartment, so they'll not be charioteering us to the Kurukshetra battle of our life. All right, going further, how am I doing with time? There's so much to cover on this topic. So lessons that we can learn from Bhagavatam, bringing the real heroes, the spiritual comeback kids, kids or saints. Bilvamangal Thakur, he transformed from being such an addict, love addict, sex addict. He transformed through his passion into divine devotion. So when he was running after Chintamani, the courtesan, she was like shocked one day how literally he climbed walls and swam through corpses, and he held snakes to just get to see her. So sometimes addictive things that we do in our life looks like we have so much energy for it, but to do something for Krishna, it feels like, oh, I'm so weak. So she told him, Bilvamangal Thakur, that if you love Krishna like you love me, you would be somewhere else. You'd find liberation. You'd be free. Wow, boom, mic drop moment, right? That was his transformation. So sometimes we need some excessively crazy rock bottom that we hit. And then I'm like, oh, I need to like shift. Next is Ajamil. Ajamil's we were saved just by chanting Narayana. Just once he called out Narayana. He didn't even call Krishna, he called his son. But Krishna is so kind. He came even to save the sinner, even who chanted just once. So, and then we have Pingala. Pingala is the oh, sorry for the texting there. It's a little bit smudged. She discovered that true fulfillment comes from within. She was tired of waiting for another client. She realized that the only reliable visitor was Krishna. No other person would actually love her. And so these stories may be extreme, but they're not about them. It's actually about us. It's our illusions, our awakenings, our redemptions. We may not be having a crocodile which is catching my feet like Gajendra's, but there are crocodiles of weakness that's lurking in my mind, in my heart, and deeply. So it's about our redemption. Okay. So different expressions, but same root. Symptoms. Let's talk symptoms. Love addiction symptoms. We desperately seek validation outside. Okay. And then we need approval constantly. We are people-pleasing behaviors keep us stuck. And then the other side of the same, the one coin, two sides. Other one is intimacy anorexia. Avoid relationships, avoid opening up, close down. and becoming an avoidant, emotionally distant from people, avoidance of true connection, emotional withdrawal, creating barriers to intimacy, fear of vulnerability. What if people come to know me for who I am? But underneath both these things, approval seeking or anorexia, intimacy, anorexia, both is underneath all that is the same hunger. And the hunger is, I'm trying to get back to Krishna. I'm trying to like use whatever broken tools that I have, that I inherited. But spirituality means dropping those tools that are not working. That's when truly it begins. So here's the path, very laid out straight, right? Self-awareness. Start journaling from today. If you're serious about this boot camp, start journaling your powerlessness, your vulnerabilities. Be honest with yourself. Before you can be honest with Krishna, first you have to be honest with yourself. Krishna might know, but he also wants me to admit where I am. So start journaling, inventorying yourself. Ask yourself, where am I still trying to get love or acceptance or power the same old way? Where? What are the places that I need to shift and change? Deep rewiring of how we are thinking. Then second, meetings, sangha, support. It's not just for addicts who might have some serious addiction with scrolling or whatever. This is for human beings who wants to experience honest love, authentic relationships. Then also this, while you're journaling, redirect that longing. Did you ever feel this ache? Whenever you feel that ache, it's a present, it's a gift. So I can cry to Krishna, write him poems instead of texting people who are hurting you, instead of looking for validation with people who don't deserve your time or your energy or whatever. Go to Krishna and pour your heart. And then every morning and evening, we will be studying prayers. I do that. I've been doing that for years now, every single day. And they are so powerful. It just opens like a floodgate of motivation and empowerment and power. Really powerful, these prayers. So you're the only one, Krishna, who knows the map of my life. So I'm handing over my life to you. So Krishna is the ultimate shelter. Why? Because we recognize that substitutes will not give us happiness. Identifying where we are seeking love instead of seeking in Krishna. Who is it? Is it your partner? Is it your ex? Is it your friend? Is it your neighbor? Is it your boss? Is it one of those spiritual teachers who ghosted you? Who knows? So embracing, the second step is embracing that vulnerability, embracing that powerlessness. It's okay to see that vulnerability is as a space for divine love, not try to substitute it, not try to put just a band-aid on it, because that's an open door for Krishna. When I say, Krishna, I'm lost, I'm lonely, I'm scared, when I'm saying that, it's actually super opening up door for Krishna. Then I surrender that control consciously, every day, prayer. Krishna, the true strength is coming from dependence on you, Krishna. Because Krishna doesn't need perfection. He's got perfection in the spiritual world. He just needs permission to interfere in my life, in our lives. Okay, and then we experience that freedom, finding lasting fulfillment in Krishna alone. So that's the whole program, okay? This is the program of the boot camp, to re-establish our relationship with Krishna, to give over the reins of the chariot to Krishna, to admit where I am going off track every day, journaling every day, keeping track, inventories, etc. Okay, I think it's already time. I still have two more slides, and I really want to share this with you. So I'm going to skip few and then we'll come back to it another day. But I was studying something about neuroscience and all that, how this is kind of like my realization that even as an astrologer, I studied psychology. Actually, this love addiction is not just something emotional. It's definitely because of samskaras, karmic things. It's also neurological, what we're carrying. It's like the brain says like this is like, say here, this image, I just made this image with AI. There's an executive part of the brain, they call it, I'm kind of like using scientific jargon here. And the scientific part of the brain, that's like, hey, it's about getting things done. Let's move on. Let's not waste time in this relationship. Let's not do this useless overthinking. But then that's the uh, part that tells us, no, don't. But depending on our discipline and whatever, we don't move on. And then there's the emotional side of the brain, and the emotional side of the brain is like, oh, I like this. How this person will feel bad. I like being victim here. Something like that. Emotionally, we kind of get into um, melancholy, some kind of melancholy. But this kind of feels good, although this person is mistreating me. Oh, this kind of feels good, although there's no use in this particular friendship or whatever. So there's like this emotional holding us down. And then there is the survival brain. The survival brain is, it seems it's about, it says, hey, wait, change is dangerous. Don't change. We'll end up alone forever. So what happens is that scientifically they say that this kind of love addiction is like this, it thrives in this kind of neurological tug of war. Whenever there's all these different parts in our brain, in our mind, that's hijacking our system, then the brain rewards, and it convinces that, oh, if you do this, then you'll feel good. Let's go and shop. Let's go and overeat. Let's go and go and take some sugary stuff. And so it convinces somehow that by doing that, again, you will feel alive. You'll feel alive. But the program we are doing now is, we don't need to feel alive with those things. We want to be alive. We don't want to just feel alive temporarily. So don't give in to that dopamine hunger because the brain needs a new kind of reward. And this reward is this connection, like our Sangha, the connection in our Sangha, these boot camps. There'll be other seminars there. We would come to the meetings, start feeding the good dog, in other words. So the good dog is all about the good values. Feed that executive part of the brain every time and say, if I choose Krishna, every time I pause instead of spiraling out, every time I train my mind, my heart, my parts to tell that maybe this path is worth it, let me give it a try with my time, my effort, my spiritual practice. Even that part of the brain and the parts that we have can experience divine love over drama and everything. So that's that. I do have a few more slides, but that I will show it another day. But that's the key for today. Self-awareness, Sangha support, redirect your longing, and complete surrender. Any questions? Any comments? It's nice to see you all. When I close my screen, then I can see you all. Otherwise, I can't see you.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hey, Hari Bol, the divine couple.
So my question is, you said about journaling. So what are the main points I should be looking? You said do it 2 times a day. So when I get up, what I should be journaling? What are the factors or points I should be focusing on, and what I should be doing in the evening? I mean, because I'm new to it, so instead of juggling, if I have some facts, some points, it would direct me better.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you.
instead of thinking of broader, what should I journal every day? And one day at a time. So for the next, whatever, 20 days, you will be getting other prompts. But for today, the prompt is recognize substitutes. This is your journaling prompt. Recognize the substitutes. Who are you subconsciously worshiping? Your husband? You wish, right? You wish. I mean, in some ways, I've seen you worshiping him. So, and there's nothing wrong, but the point is, subconsciously, is your husband a substitute? Are you expecting your husband to fill the gap that you're, whatever, okay? Or is it that one spiritual teacher or somebody in your temple that did not appreciate you for some seva? Go into the honesty mode to look at Are you trying to make your children the substitutes to Krishna to validate you, to make you feel that you're a good mom? Because there's a lot of this chatter in the brain. I
Mhm.
remember even once my Guru Maharaj told me the point is not, I want to be a good disciple, I want to be a good wife, I want to be a good mother, I want to be, I. The point is to be honest. Krishna, in this relationship with my husband, this is how I'm trying to look for substitute. In this relationship with my children, these are the areas that I'm having certain expectations. So recognizing the substitutes, okay? And it's
Mhm.
okay. It's between you and Krishna, so you can write whatever. But the point is to break down that wall of dishonesty, denial.
Got it. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
And one
Okay.
thing that helped me was also sometimes I want recovery and power or whatever I want now. I want to be good now. I want to be humble now. But that's also a substitute. Instead of surrendering to Krishna, I'm thinking, I want to be a good devotee today. I want to chant well today. I want to do best deity worship today. But it's all about me.
It's
If it's
about me.
really about Krishna,
Mhm.
Krishna, thank you for everything you've given me. I want to learn my lessons. I want to come closer to you, even if it means I'm struggling in these areas, even if it means that I'm not able to do that perfect sadhana or whatever. So that would uplift you. Then I say it's magic. The word is magic. This program has done magic in my life. I was able to match because externally people would think, oh, she gives classes, she should have a life altogether. But internally, I was falling apart. So this program really gave me that surrender, like I would say, like Krishna's will, not mine, be done.
Thank you.
Okay, anything else? Okay, so we will end here for today, and I will be sending the booklet for you to study further about this specific topic on love addiction. But we are going to continue our journey into the boot camp, the steps, and we're coming closer and closer to allowing Krishna's will to prevail. Thank you so much for your attention, and have a good night or have a good day, and keep being honest with Krishna and let go and let Govinda, let go of all the substitutes. But before letting go, you have to recognize them. So that's your homework. Hare Krishna. And I hope you watched that video. And if you have any thoughts about that video or realizations, kindly send it in the group. I highly recommend you do like I did it today. Take a quote, make a quote with your WhatsApp status text, take a screenshot of that and send it in the group. It kind of like gives a color and the feel to it. I have more quotes that I will be sending. And let me see, what's my last sentence? Okay, this journey is not about never needing love. I'll repeat. This journey is not about never needing love. It's about finally receiving it from the source so we can stop draining everyone else. Okay, Hare Krishna.